classic salad Lyonnaise. Here we go. Potatoes in there, so sautéed new potatoes with a lovely little onion compote on the top. Keep the lid on there loosely, and we'll get them in about 6 or so minutes, 6 to 8 minutes, just to heat up. Just check they're piping hot before you serve them. Then in here, you'll see we've got crispy panade egg. That's going to go in the oven again about 5 minutes if you want it well done in the centre, extra 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to keep the lid, remove the lid from that before that goes in the oven. And then the only other components when we come back, we've got some frisee lettuce, which I'm just going to put into my bowl. And then we've got a lovely little whole grain mustard dressing just here, which I'm going to put some of that onto my lettuce just before we serve. So eggs going in shortly, and we'll be back to plate it up. Okay, so my egg has just come out the oven now. There's my crispy egg, tiny bit of seasoning just on the top. Then we've got our Lyonnaise little potatoes just on here. What you want to do, take some of those potatoes and just place them with, of course, that really nice onion compote which we've caramelised down, as you can see from that beautiful colour on there. Get all your potatoes dressed around, make almost like a little seat in which you're going to sit your egg on the top. Nice bit of compote. You want to be able to see the potatoes as well as compote, so just really spend a bit of time making that look lovely. There we go. Right, next up, let's get our dressing. Give it a good shake. That's our little Miso mustard dressing in there, Purée mustard. Then a good bit of that on the top. Save the rest of it. Again, tiny little bit of seasoning. Use your fingers just to get all of that nicely dressed. The thing about salad leaves, you want to have dressing on each part of it. That's why we dress it in a bowl beforehand. Salad's going on the top. And almost make a little hole just in the centre, like so. Then we'll get our egg, sit down just like a little bird's nest on the top. And then coming back just before we serve, have a little mix on my dressing, and I'm just gonna nice bit of dressing on the top. That mustard works absolutely brilliant, so don't be afraid about the amount you're using. And there it is, classically salad Lyonnaise, crispy egg, and then cut into that, all that yolk coming out, delicious. Onto our vegetarian main course, we've got a lovely gnocchi dish coming up for you. I'm just going to show you the gnocchi before I bake it inside. We've got nice wild mushroom gnocchi, sautéed wild mushrooms and field mushrooms in there as well, a little bit of butter, grated truffle and parmesan. Put the lid on, just loosely, and that wants to be baked for about 12 to 14 minutes in the oven. And then we've got our mushroom cigarettes here. This is foiled brick pastry that they're wrapped in about 8 to 10 minutes, or until they're crispy. That's the best sign of it. So we're going to get this in now, all cooking. Spinach puree ready for when we come back, all heated up, and your mushroom dressing, which is going to be room temperature. I'm going to get that in. I'm going to see you in 10 minutes. I've heated up bowl, all ready for my gnocchi. I've got my spinach puree there. Look at that, lovely and silky smooth spinach puree. Back of a spoon. See how just kind of spin the bowl around. Just get a lovely round base on what to put on gnocchi. So you see I spend a bit of time doing that. There we go. Then let's go to our gnocchi, all baked now. I'm going to start by getting some of these nice little mushrooms out. King Shimizu there. Hook some of those out, there we go. And just sit them onto the puree nice and carefully. Then start going with some of your gnocchi. Nice generous portion of those for you. A little bit of grated truffle smell coming off of this, it is delicious. So keep on plating them all the way around, all ones jumped in there. And then finish off, you see I've got some mushrooms in the base. Got a selection of oysters in there, plenty of grated truffle. Make sure you can see some of the spinach puree through. Pickled mushroom dressing up next. Drain it off a little bit, just to get some of those Nice little flavour bombs on the top. A little bit of a dressing. Just around. And all that leaves is to finish off a mushroom cigarette. So just before you go to the table, I'm just going to put just on the side, like so. How about that? Seriously flavourous and vegetarian course, wild mushroom gnocchi. So we've got a little take on a trifle now for you, something a bit different though. In here we've got a little banana cake just at the bottom, and then we've got a lovely lightly set miso caramel just on the top of there. Bitter chocolate shavings to go with it, caramelised banana puree on there, and then we've got a little vanilla creme diplomat, so a very, very light vanilla cream. First of all, just cut off the little ends of a piping bag, sharp knife or a pair of scissors. So cut those off and make sure before you do anything, put those in the bin. So, I've got a plate ready. I'm going to take some of my banana first of all, hold it in one hand, guide it with the other, and then pipe just some nice little piles of that all the way over. Go back, make sure you use it all. See how I'm making some a bit smaller, some a bit larger. Like so. Then I'm going to go back and get my vanilla creme diplomat, and I'm going to go sort of in between like so. Almost done. Like that. Lastly, get your little bitter chocolate shavings and just tap them onto the top. Keep those in the fridge or freezer till the last second, and just use a spoon, and you won't heat them up, and you'll get that lovely little almost like fallen effect, and they've scattered just on there. That's it, a few more just to go on that last little bit. I'll just escape to my plate, and there we go. That's our little take on a trifle this week, Banoffee style.